Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you something special. Something called Tkinter, which is a library in Python that is built in that you can use to make GUI, which is graphical user interface in your computer system. This can be used for virtually anything that you want to do in your computer, whether it's a demonstration that you want to show people or it is something that or it is just a basic application that you want to make or a game that you want to make. You can use Tkinter to quickly make it. So you can either make a full-fledged an application, a product with Tkinter, or you can just make Tkinter as your, for example, your first version, just to show people what you want to do. So Tkinter is the way to go when you are a beginner, and also when you are just trying to have a first version of whatever it is that you want to show people. So we are going to now create a new application, and I'm going to show you my own style of how I make my Tkinter applications in Python. I like using classes. So we always start with a class. I just want to show you the first. I want to show you how I do it, and then we'll start. We'll try to make a basic layout application that a person can input their name and have the name processed and then returned to the app in some way. So let's just make the app. Let's begin by creating an app class. When you create the app class, you can define it and then initialize. So this is always essential. When you create a class, it is always essential to have an init function, which we are not going to discuss why classes have this. So we are just going to keep on going with the um, making the application. A separate video will be made for classes. Anyway, so we can start defining the app. This self also is something that is pertaining to classes. So we are not really going to discuss something about classes. We are just going to explain what this thing is all the Tkinter, what it is all about. So so do self dot app, which is the main window. It is given as tk dot tk like this. But first we actually need to import the Tkinter module like this. We say Tkinter as tk like this, which is short form for tk. So we go self dot app dot main loop. This is the function that makes the application the GUI appear on your screen. Without it, the application will not show. So let's try running this and see whether it will work. As you can see, the thing did not appear. It's nowhere to be found. That's because we didn't initialize the app class. We need to call it because it is a callable since it has init. So let's pause here. So now that we've called it, let's try to run it again and see whether the app will appear. So as you can see, The app by default, its name is TK. We can always change that later, but this is the window that we just created in this place. So uh, let's continue to make the application. Now there are certain things in Tkinter that we call widgets. So widgets, I think you're already familiar with widgets. Widgets are basically objects like buttons and all of these progress bar and basically all the objects that are linked to an application interface, a GUI. So this is a widget. This is a widget. This is a widget. It's all of them are to be termed widgets. So we are going to create one widget, which is a button, and everybody knows a button. We create it. It's not compulsory to put this self, but we do it for the purpose of uh, universality in the class, which is not our discussion for today. So I just put bt equal to tk dot button. Notice that the tk is the one that I just imported here, just to remind you. So there's something inside buttons and every widget that is called master. Now, if you look at it, master, just from the name, you'd know that master actually means where the parent. That is the parent of the button or the widget. So we want the button to stay inside the application. We don't want it to stay outside. I don't think it can even work that way. We can't just make a button from nowhere to appear on the screen. It has to be inside a particular window. So that is why we need to define where the button is going to stay. So we put the master to be this app variable over here. So, and the button should have a text. So we put text equal to click me, then exclamation mark. Now let's try running it. Ooh, the button is not here. Why? That is because we did not pack the button well. We did not pack the button. So we need to call self.bt.pack. You have to know that if you want to access attributes of any object in Python, you need to put this full stop. This full stop is what will access what is inside anything in Python. So I'm just trying to remind you of all of these concepts so that you remember easily. So as you can see, we need to pack it just like we pack our bags. It's the same way we need to pack the button somewhere in the application. Almost like the application is our bag and the button, we pack it to one side or to the middle or to the, you know, anywhere. So we have created our button. This is what we do for any widget in Tkinter. We can create a check button if we want. Check button, check bt equal to tk dot check button like this. And we still have the same master. The master is still the same. We want it to be inside the application GUI. If we wanted the parent to be a frame, for example, we wanted the check button to be in a frame, we would say self dot frame like this, and we would define a separate frame to be inside the application. It gets much more complex, but you can understand it very easily once you understand that there's a hierarchy. So we say we pack the frame just like every other widget. We pack it. But here, instead of button, we would say we would call the frame. We would have the frame to be the master of this particular button. So as you can see, it's a hierarchy. This one, this is the ultimate master. Then this one is the child. Then this one is the grandchild. This button is the grandchild. And so is this one. It also has the frame as the parent. So it gets easier when you practice, but it's still very complex. Anyways, check button can have a text also. So we can have tick me, sorry, in a string. We can have tick me like this. And let's run it. It hasn't appeared. You guessed it. It's because we didn't pack it somewhere. Check bt dot pack like that. So let's run. See, we have tick me has, and click me. So these are the various widgets that you have in Tkinter. We have even more. I could go on and on and on, but this is the general sequence. This is the general format in which you create widgets on a very basic level. So you just define the widget and then pack it inside the application after you create the application. And you notice something. The main loop never always the main loop should always run after everything has been packed. Because if you say you want to main loop when you haven't packed anything, then the application itself, the main window is going to appear and nothing is going to appear inside it because you have already looped and there's nothing between the definition and the main loop. Anyway, so that is just the complex things that so so these are the basic things, and if you want you can make another widget in the same format as this one. To cut the video short, uh yeah, this is it. There are various other widgets that you can make, and you can have them appear when you pack it. So this is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and always practice one step at a time.